Hang on. What are these doing here? Let's just push that up. Hi, I'm going to do a review of these two boots. This is the Scarpa Trek and the Hanwag Alaska. These are both GTX boots. They are both, well, no, they're not both the same size. This is a UK 12. This is a UK 11.5 with a wide foot. This was too small for my foot, which it doesn't concern you really, because we've all got different feet. But it might be of interest to you that that is narrower, even though it's the wide fitting, than the standard Scarpa. And this takes us to the main point that I want to make with this video, and that is that it really is the best thing if you want to buy a boot is not to get it off the internet. Yes, have a look at videos like this to get ideas from, but you cannot beat going into a shop that actually has a large selection of different boots from different manufacturers, and you have a sales staff member, I'll get that right, I've got someone else's teeth in today, someone who knows what they're talking about, who will measure your feet. I had the most in-depth foot measurement I've ever had. When I was a young man, interestingly, you might like to know this for you younger people watching this, when I was a young lad, shoe shops used to have little x-ray boxes, used to put your foot in, and it would take an x-ray of your foot, which is ridiculous. So that just means radiation was floating about, ended up in the bin at the end of the day, and quite frightening. But anyway, this guy did, he measured my width, very different whether sitting or standing, different lengths my 2 feet are. And he came to the conclusion, also he asked me exactly what the purpose of the boot was. And he came to the conclusion, with all those factors, that this was the boot for me. And I have to admit, as soon as I tried it on, it fitted like a glove. Unfortunately, even though I love the look of this boot, I love the quality of it, there's certain design features of it which are very clever, which this boot lacks, but it doesn't fit. It's way too tight across my sort of metatarsal region. It sort of clamps it really hard. This boot, the Hanwag, has lovely ball-bearing bootlace loops. Let's see if I can show you those. It might be too dark. Can you see the little ball bearings there? I'll try and catch the light with them. It has the extra little bootlace clasp there, which is good or bad, depends how you feel about it. And it has another one up on the tongue up there. Made from one piece of leather. I can't remember the thickness of the leather, but generally speaking, it's a very solid boot. And you might not want that. You might want it. You might not want it. I told the guy who helped me with choosing my boot that I wanted some flex in the boot because often I'm kneeling down, setting up a camera, setting up my drone, and I want some flexibility. This has, and I couldn't see it from any of the spiel, either from the manufacturer's website or from some various shops selling it, how rigid a boot this was. There's virtually no flex in that at all. It's a big solid, I think it's a metal shank in that, I think. So a shank is a strip of metal that goes down through the sole. It's a very lovely boot, has a lovely leather interior inside, the white bit there and the back of the tongue, lovely soft sort of glove-like leather, kid glove leather, and as I say, it's Gore-Tex, so it should be waterproof. Another difference with the Scarpa over there, I'll get the Scarpa out to show you in a tick, is that the rand, which is sort of like the bumper, rubberized, plasticky bumper around the base, the majority of it is the same height as the Scarpa, but over the toe, it actually goes over the top of the toe where the Scarpa goes round. The thing which is rather childish, but why not actually want a look that you're looking for, not just functionality, I want it to look good. I like the idea of the old-fashioned walking boots where the laces came up right towards the tip of the toes there. So it's old-fashioned, but it does actually have its purposes. It allows you to adjust the tightness for more of the length of the boot rather than just having a toe area that is just a standard size. Can't really see it on that because the label, this one's going back, so I've got to keep the labels attached and look after it. In a minute, I'll put the boots on. Now, what else can I tell you about it? Both Vibrance soles, I think, which is an Italian make. Oh, I could tell you that. So Scarpa is an Italian boot manufacturer, very well known, very old company, and also Hanwag is an old German stroke Bavarian. I believe some people in Bavaria don't like to be considered as German, but it is an area in Germany. So this is a German boot. This is made in Croatia, I think, and this one is made in Romania, or it's vice versa. I can't remember which, but Italian, German, neither made in their home countries. So, so that's obviously to save money. And but talking money, so they're both over 200 quid with the sort of discounts. I bought this from Taunton Leisure. I had to go 150 miles to my nearest Taunton Leisure, but I happened to be there for some professional lectures anyway, so I snuck out the lectures to get this. But the service I had is the best service I've ever had. The guy was amazing, really, really helpful. I was there half an hour. I think I could have been there 2 hours quite easily, going through all the different options and fine-tuning. And also, at the end of it, he says, come back. Once you've worn the boot in a bit, come back and we'll reassess it, get it fitting even more comfortably. So it's a little bit like when you get a new set of wheels on your car, new set of tyres. You should go back to get the nuts retightened. I'm not suggesting that I'm going to go back there and get my nuts touched up. But certainly, it's an analogy between new car wheel. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so they're the two boots. So quite a different look there. I don't like the green in the top, but I guess that shouldn't matter. And I do like the rand over the toe there. I get around. Ooh. So I mustn't lose viewers and people wanting to subscribe by the crappy jokes like I've done earlier and singing. So so two very fine boots, both waterproof, both Cortex. The Scarpa Trek is more flexible, more mobile, and this I don't know. You might be able to use this with crampons. You definitely can with these. This will be at home on a glacier. Don't know about this one. But this will suit my needs. So keeping this down, keeping it short. I'll stop there. We'll hold the bottoms up so you can see the grips on the bottom. But I'm not sure which looks the widest as far as the actual sole is concerned. But the Trek, and they do a wider version for the Trek as well. Or they call it a higher volume, so not specifically wider, but higher internal volume version of that. And the wide version, which is that, was not wide enough for my foot, so it's quite a narrow boot. But again, go into your nearby shop, try it out, get the help, get their expertise, and you'll walk out of there with the right boot for you, unless you know exactly what you're doing. I didn't. But hopefully this video will give you a little bit of insight from what I've learned. Okay, actually, let's just whack these on and see what they look like. Right, so there we are. That's what they look like both on. And you can see, so here we are. This is the Scarpa Trek, and this is the Hanwag Alaska GTX, but I think you can see it is a bit wider across the midfoot. Again, when fitting, a good fitter will have a look at which point where your metatarsals are sitting. My toes are a very peculiar shape compared to other people's, and I have a sort of far longer first toe compared to the second. Some people have longer second toes. So all this sort of information will help someone who knows what they're talking about give you the right advice. So that's what they look like. Let's turn around. You can see shorts are falling down. See what the supination pronations are like between the two. Slightly higher up on this side as far as the sole and the heel. A little bit. Both are very comfortable, apart from the tightness in the midfoot, forefoot that I have with the Hanwag. But you can see I haven't laced up. But you can see there is bend in that, and there is no bend. If I try to bend it, there's very little there. There's a wee bit, but not much. Okay, so I will get to use these over the next few weeks, and I'll come back and do a longer review of how they're shaping up. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Should be getting some nice footage from Iceland if we get there in a couple of weeks' time, if the virus going around, the coronavirus, has not closed all the countries down. We'll see how that's going. Okay, thank you for watching.